It is a very gloomy, light wind kind of day, but we're still gonna try to attempt to leave Allans-Pensacola Cay and head over to Powell Cay because we're kind of running out on the water, so we've got to keep moving, really.
We're gonna definitely need the mainsail today. Not because we're beating into it, which we might be, but mostly because the wind is so light. So we're gonna shake out the reef that we've had in pretty much since we got here and sail with full sails today. Who knows, if the wind direction actually points a good direction, we might even set up the spinnaker. How's it going?
Pretty good. Pulling anchor under sail when it's narrow and really shallow is always kind of exciting because you keep tacking. Because the wind's also coming from where we've got to go out, of course.
Well, that's alright.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. The sun actually came out now. Sailing in the Abacos is wonderful and reminds me of the Exumas in a certain way. It's prime island hopping. All the cays and islands are so close together that you don't have to sail for long days, leaving more time for adventures. It also makes it easier for route planning and to get weather windows. Another great thing about this area is that the sailing conditions are great. On the east side there's protection from the Atlantic swell by all the cays, whereas on the west side there's little Abacos Island. This is heaven. Like, that's the best kind of day. There's barely no waves. We're cruising along at like 4.5, 5 knots with the gennaker up. I can read. Jerry Jackson 2.0 is actually doing his job. The sun is shining and we only have 15 miles until we make it to Powell Cay. So it's perfect. Best day. On today's menu, lobster, fresh basil, and ramen soup. Should be good, I think. How is it?
I haven't tried it yet, but it looks good.
Ow, it's hot.
For the ocean, I would be long gone by now. It's some kind of devotion that brings me down.
Unfortunately, we didn't have much luck dragging our hand line behind. And after a few more barracudas, we got something! We gave up and instead enjoyed sailing with our gennaker. Plus, we were getting close to our anchorage.
No, not a barracuda, is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Ah.
Yeah, it is. You barracuda. Destroying our line. You piece of shit. I hate barracudas! It's a big ass barracuda, actually. Flick off of it! You're gonna destroy our line with your big teeth, you ass. Flying a drone while sailing was incredibly nerve-wracking. A moving target to land on and a target to get away from when taking off did not help, but even flying over water made me a little anxious. But I think the views made it all worth it. Plus, I'm getting good practice at trying to calm my nerves while holding the joysticks. Well, we're coming into Powell Cay. It's going to be really fun. It's probably the only island around here with even just a little bit of elevation. And we got just the right wind to come right into our anchorage with our spinnaker. And we're going to try to douse our spinnaker and set anchor all at the same time. It'll be the first time we're going to try this, so we'll see how it goes. And we're kind of on a lee shore, so we're going to get pushed into more shallow if we take too long. So we'll make sure to start dousing before we get to where we want to anchor and just let the wind kind of gradually push us to where we want to drop the hook, then drop the hook, set the hook without the engine. And we'll probably have to dive on it because we won't be backfilling any sails or anything to actually set it very well. But it should be fun because the wind's pretty light, and anyway, it'll be a fun experience. Let's see how it goes. Well, the wind's been friendly with us up until now, other than it being a little shifty. But if you can see the spinnaker, it is just flopping like a loose goose. So we're gonna put it in its sock, put it back in its home. We're really not far from where we want to anchor, unfortunately. But come on. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna go, so we might as well sock it while the wind's dead. Oh, are we getting some? Right when I came to put the sock on, we're getting a little puff. Or are we getting close to the anchorage there now?
Okay, we are releasing.
All right, let's do it. Pull in the extra line so they don't get caught in the rudder, please. All right, we're socked up. Gonna just secure it over here for now, out of the way. Using the anchor to kind of slow us down a little bit here.
We are going 1.7, so be careful.
All right. Well, I was gonna put my foot on it, but I didn't have time before it started going.
And it's way over there. Yeah, the anchor is buried. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's in. Nice send.
Well, it did what it was meant to do. We were going forward at high enough speed to be able to set our anchor. That's awesome.
This was not the right beach, so we kept looking around with the dinghy for a trailhead. We heard about a trail that led across Powell Island, and we wanted to go on a little adventure. On our way over, we found some really nice cliffs and got a closer look. Found Bluff trailhead. So if you're looking at the cliff from the anchorage, it's the beach to the left side, and there's a little sign in the trees. Come on. Chill. Let's go.
So the sign's over there, right by Megan, and it looks like there's a bit of a trail here. And then it goes up, and then it's lost. Not sure where to go. Oh, that was a cactus! Ouch! The bluff trail must have been overgrown. We looked all over the place and eventually ended up following a little path to the left that led us to the Ocean Beach hiking trail.
Yeah. Think we have found the trail. Oh. No, it's all dead. Hello, crab. Watch your fingers.
No, those are
You keep scaring me. I don't want to get pinched by those knuckles.
He's like, I am not coming out of there.
He's only got a little pincher, but I bet it would hurt. Actually, it doesn't feel like he's pinching that hard.
Put your finger and you'll see. Oh, coming
Come
out.
on out, buddy.
Coming out. Hey, you. You're pretty. You're so pretty.
I don't think that big oh, he got me that time.
Corey finally let this poor little land crab go free. It's only a short hike across Powell Cay, but totally worth it. You get to experience the jungle-like forest of the Bahamas. Just be wary of the poison tree. It has a big 13 meters of elevation and offers a nice view. We were rewarded by the turquoise color of the Atlantic side and crashing waves on the steep sandy beach. Oh, the trail across Powell Cay led to like treasures. I found so many cute little shells. Like, look at this. This is so orange. That's a really neat beach on the other side, but the swell is just crashing.
We followed the sandy beach north and reached a point of limestone rocks. We looked around trying to spot some reefs to go dive the next day. The waves were just too big today. They don't look like they're doing a whole lot. have always fascinated me. When a hive swarms, a second queen is made, and it takes half the hive with her in search of a new home, often clustering in areas just like this one.
With pockets full of shells and sandy toes, and a little hungry, we started to make our way back across Powell Cay. The bluff trail's super neat. You actually gain a bit of elevation, you get a viewpoint, there's a beautiful beach, then you can walk to the tip where there's like all those coral limestone kind of rocks. I love when we do different kinds of activities because we tend to be a lot in the water, especially that Corey is a fish. So it's nice to be walking. And you just have to follow the garbage and you know where the trail is. Our high hill.
The anchorage at Powell Cay was so calm, and since there weren't very many boats in the Abacos this year, or so we heard, we had it mostly to ourselves. I was ready for some spearfishing action, but we had a few things to do first. Time for some brekkie. So what's your morning been full of?
My morning's been a little bit hectic between trying to get the bread ready, taking care of my sprouts, taking care of the bugs in the basil, cleaning out the whole fridge, bleaching everything because it smells like fish and it's disgusting right now. So I think something leaked. Doesn't smell good. And there's water in the can compartment. So I'm taking all the cans out. And Corey wants to go spearfishing, so I'm trying to get all of this done before it's too late.
I'll just go and you can stay and do all that stuff.
Yeah, I guess so.
No, I'm just kidding. We also have our friendly crew of weebles. They are hanging out with us. They've become our friends on the boat. They enjoy rice and spending long walks on the beach. They're just basically our family away from family. Oh, we got our fridge all cleaned out, the water out, and the cooling plate all defrosted. So we just flicked it back on. Now we're gonna fill it back up and hopefully the smell will be gone. At last, we dinghied around the northern tip of Powell Cay, but we found decent-sized breakers.
What's going on there?
We're trying to find some coral, and there's breakers all around, which makes me think it's coral, but it's such a brown color that it seems like it might actually just be grass, seagrass. But there's supposed to be a bunch of coral heads around here, and it's obviously not the calmest day to be out, but it seems like it'll be decent. Guess we'll see how this goes. We're anchored hopefully between the swell, it seems. Mind you, there's not a whole lot of swell right at this second, but there's swell over by these rocks, and then there's swell over by a shallow reef. Actually, that's fairly far away now. So I think we're good, as long as we don't drift too close to those rocks.
Well, I am on dinghy watch / wave watch and current drifting watch. Corey found a little ledge where there might be some lobsters really excited. But yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the dinghy, and at the same time I don't really enjoy diving when there's like bigger waves and a bit more current. I don't stay as calm and I don't hold my breath for as long. So Corey's much better at that, so he's doing the fishing provisioning business and I'm on Scotty. It's such a nice day. It's beautiful. And right now we're actually right at the tip of Powell Island, where yesterday we actually walked all the way to. It's kind of nice seeing it from the water perspective. He's like over there. Whee! Snorkeling was not the most exciting here, so I let Corey look for lobsters or fish. I realized that week 14 of pregnancy made me be more out of breath, so harder to free dive. And I was even nauseous just being in the swell on the dinghy. But on a good note, the first trimester had ended without another miscarriage. What you got there?
A white market, I think. It's pretty.
That's a big
Pretty
guy.
decent guy. He's gonna be delicious.
Wow, look at him.
Alright, well, I got this all filleted. Normally this is about the size of a fillet that you'll get, at least for this kind of fish, off of a fish this large. But there's also lots of little chunks that you can cut off. This was, I mean, I could have got a bigger chunk, but you could see it's quite thick. And this is from the belly section here. So if you're looking to get every last little bit of meat, I probably even could have dug a little bit more and gotten this chunk of the belly here. But there is a decent amount underneath the fin here. I was kind of surprised. Actually, I could probably cut another little chunk there. Like, that's a lot of meat to just throw away, and normally we would just cut here and get rid of the rest. But I figured I'd try seeing how much meat I could get off of it. Also, the head has quite a bit most of the time. Yeah, you just want to get as close to the bone as possible. So I normally cut along this side down to the spine, and then I peel it back and kind of cut around the spine. And yeah, so on both sides you can kind of get quite a bit. I tend to leave the rib cage here because it's fairly thin. I mean, there is a decent amount of meat there, but there's a lot of bone in there as well, so I normally just cut it out.
Powell Cay provided us with good shelter, good holding, fun walking trails, and even some fish. We enjoyed yet another stunning sunset, and tomorrow we would be setting sail towards Manjack, which we heard so much about.